looks brilliant, give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. Yeah, you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy, but the light has got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my hand again. Is it wrong? Is it right? It's like I've won my final war without a fight. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. I know you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy, but the light has got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my head. Get you out of my head.
Please note.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Fools are calling and I don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. So tell me the storm is coming, for the sake of all your lies. Why don't you try to be wise? Now that I need you, why?
Just to feel like I'm fading, and though my heart breaks a beat of down, I've got the last just to tell you, don't lead the way, don't even say that I drown with a flame in the rain. I feel like I'm fading. I teach you what I know. What comes up must come down. Gravity keeps on pulling us down. The moment is now. Sunrise again. Showdown, probably. The antidote is what you make it. Your ignorance don't need to fake it. Defy gravity.
I'm not quite forget. I shall take you back to the grand legend. Won't repeat the words twice. My time is surprising, no dice. But still my rights.
Hello, hello, and welcome to Women's Classic Wrestling. This every time I hear that song, I'm like in the middle of jamming out. I hope that your Monday is going well. I'm your host, Auntie Collins. We got a lot to cover, and we got a little bit of time. Joining me on my right, the wonderful, the stunning, the athletic Melba Collins. How's it going?
I'm doing great, Auntie. I, as I mentioned before, I'm still recovering from the trauma of the weekend. I had the unfortunateness of watching Teddy Hart wrestle. That being said, I had the fortunateness of watching Strong Style Evolved and seeing Royce Isaacs. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Go watch. The guy robbed a bakery before doing this show, I swear to God. Well, it was amazing. Auntie, how are you doing?
I'm all right. I had to rush over here from my shoot job, my day job, the thing that pays for all the donuts and the pastries. But let's not forget the stunning, the intelligent, the cutesy patootie over here, the natural Astrid. Hello, hello. Yes.
Yes.
Voodoo
I'm
donuts.
also I'm also recovering for the weekend, but not because of Teddy Hart. Just there's a different reason.
Listen, we
Yeah.
can all have very different weekends, but we can still feel tired. No, all the
Yeah.
all the less, all the more. I don't know. All the more? Is it all the more or all the less?
I mean,
Mm,
maybe a bit of both.
you got
What a way to
both.
start. Can I
Both,
speak
both,
the
both
English
is good.
language? Don't know. Never soar. Uh,
Oh, I've given up trying to understand our language. It just every time we understand, the children change something, and I don't know what's going on anymore.
you think that it's okay? It is all the more.
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
Thank you, Millie, for setting me straight. I think that because I have 2 bachelor's degrees. I have a degree in teaching and I have a degree in English. The degree in English is clearly not being put to use. Oh, every day I go, why did this college get because I put hours in? Probably. But
Yeah,
Oh, it's
it happens.
well,
tremendous. I love it. I love it.
I mean,
Oh, sweet mercy.
it doesn't serve me well to say that my college did not survive the pandemic.
Whoa.
Oh dear.
But nothing to do with the quality of education, but more like lawsuits and things. So
Whoa.
I don't
No,
I don't
okay.
know if that makes it better.
I was gonna say I'm like torn about this one.
listen, if you Google Nyack College, NYACK, you'll learn a bunch of things.
Oh,
An alleged Christian college for you.
oh,
We
yeah. I would like to be able to learn it. I think I have to investigate this after.
yeah. I'll send you guys articles. It's yeah.
I need to know.
Listen, we're not handwriting letters. We're not reading lots of literature. We're watching wrestling, and that's all we care about, right? So,
Wrestling.
are we ready to start? Before we begin, be sure, like, share, subscribe, get your little super chats in. Tell us how you are. Go follow us on all of our social media so that you know when we are going live. If you didn't see, we went live a little bit later than we usually do. So this is why you should be subscribed and put that little bell icon so that you know when we are all a little bit late. But it's
Nobody's
This is where I
checking.
would say
Nobody's
ding
checking that. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Y'all are my people here. Y'all are my people. You get it. Here's to that. Oh my God. Well, we are on episode
oh.
5 of the Mae Young Classic. You can't blame me. I told you my shoot job. I'm the senior part of my job title had to come into clutch today because my boss is not in town. So not only are we up against a month-end deadline, we are up against a year-end deadline, up against a quarter deadline. So it's a little bit. It's a little bit. But we are at episode 5 of the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah.
We are out of our first round into the second round. This is where I think everything starts to pick up.
Mhm.
Are you guys ready to jump in? We have 4 matches to talk about tonight. a little bit obvious for some of them, a little bit of a surprise. The first match I thought was a little bit of a surprise. We have Abbey Laith versus Rachael Evers. Let's go to Astrid. Tell me about your thoughts about this match.
Well, I do love having one of the KOs, as I say, Cassius Ohno at ringside for this, being that he's Rachel's partner. So I love having. I do miss seeing him on TV very often. But that's one of my favorite KOs because I go by that name for him, even though I shouldn't be. But for this one though, I was very surprised by the result of it. Like I said, I haven't watched this since it aired, but at the same time, based on the performances, I was always hoping Rachel would be winning this match. I don't want to say I was disappointed, but I didn't like the result. Bailey, you remembered it, thankfully. But I like that here we show off a lot of Rachel's power because she does that, she does a senton and a stunner right from the get-go. And there's a kick at the beginning too. And I like the double kick when they both fall down at the same time. That was pretty fun to watch as well. But again, it's like I like how they use it as the fact that when Rachel went to do her top rope move, and after that, like Abby took that opening that she had and took advantage of it to do her alligator clutch for the win. But again, I feel like I would have done for Rachel. But what I really enjoyed about this overall episode, though, is that I feel like by this point, I feel like the crowd kind of got more familiar with the talent at this point. So you can see them that they're very split on both of them here, especially for this opener match. And you can see they're reacting a little bit more than they were for the first couple episodes, which I really am glad that happened. Because again, commentary for this, being that it's JR and Lita, is taking me out, and I hate listening to them. Oh my God, such a passion. Don't like it whatsoever. It feels very anticlimactic and not exciting at all. And I don't like it when there's no excitement. It's like, yeah, she did this and she did that. You don't get to hear that because it's JR. So, unfortunately. But I feel like this was a fun opener. I was very surprised by Abby winning, though.
I love it. I love it. Bellal, tell us your thoughts and feelings.
So this was I knew Rachael Evers in this one. I wasn't familiar with Abbey Laith. And then you guys told me she was Kimber Lee. And I was like, well, I know her. The names, you guys. This is
the names.
why, right? Like, I hate when I'm like recognizing someone. I'm like, oh, that's such and such. And everyone's like, especially Andre, because 2/3, he's so smart. Oh, that was such and such in this company. Now they're such and such in this company. Man, keep your names. Anyway, I really felt that this was my power flex kind of match for Evers in the beginning here. She was kind of eating around Laith a little bit there until Laith caught that Tope Suicida on the ramp. I was just super cool because she rolled up it. It looked really neat. There was a leg sweep takedown by Evers that she followed up with a springboard leg drop off the second rope there. I thought that was really cool. And that was when I kind of remembered this was like where I started to really experience Rachel's career, because after this point was when I started to see a lot more of her online and stuff. So I really appreciate her like unique styling and stuff like this. There was that double pump kick that Astrid mentioned that knocked them both down. And so, okay, I wrote down a top rope twisting body slam by Evers on Laith. I think it was actually on the second rope, not the top, where she was just standing there, grabs her, spins her around, and just plants her. The power that Evers has is just so impressive. So impressive. And especially because Laith is actually very comparable in size to her. It's just crazy to think that she's able to just yeet around her own body weight so effortlessly. Last thing I said was the desperation power bomb into the alligator clutch by Laith was really, really great, because at that point you knew like Laith had been getting tossed around quite a bit. She had to wrap it up as quickly as possible if she was going to come out on top of this match. And we saw her do that with that alligator clutch where she just locked up those legs and Evers couldn't kick out. I love this match. This was a great show of skill for both of these women. I think this was the first time that I heard the crowd chanting women's wrestling. And this is wrestling throughout the match. I was very appreciative of that. It's not all the time that fans appreciate what's happening in the ring with women's wrestling.
So y'all have said basically everything on this opening match. Right. This is round 2. This is, Kimber Lee and Rachael Ellering. They wrestled each other before. It was quite obvious in this scenario where Rachael Ellering has the power and Abbey has, I guess, the speed, I guess the agility, so to speak. They really showcased that in this match. They really showcased a lot of their strengths. I did want to mention that before the match started, they did mention, Kairi Sane in the crowd. And I was like, oh, look, partners, we love that. We can't mention that here for Rachael Ellering ever. Sorry. But they had mentioned that, like, her family didn't get behind her. And the promo package was both of them being like, I'm going to do everything I can to win. I'm going to put everything on the line. And it's like, wow, they're really emphasizing here that Rachael does not have anyone else behind her except Kairi Sane, which I was like, that means that she's going to win, right? They haven't really mentioned anyone supporting Abbey Laith here. She really doesn't seem to have any, like, friends. And from what we remember in that first round, it was a big upset. So it's like, what, we're playing the underdog here. We're playing the, we've seen this trope time and time again with some of these matches, but I didn't feel like it was completely David and Goliath here. The strategy that was going into this match really was avoid being picked up at all costs. And while commentary did suck, they did mention that she had been dancing for 24 years, Abbey Laith. So her getting out of some of these really compromising situations really played to that of, wow, she is that underdog of slipping out of some of these holds or getting out of a place where it could have been pretty dangerous. That senton looked so gnarly. I really think that alligator clutch to win it in 4 minutes and 49 seconds, which is Millie, as I've mentioned on the show, Kimber Lee and I used to be friends, right? We're from the same area. She got me into the promotion that I worked for. Knowing that we are no longer friends, it's not a sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Be a better person, and people be a better person, and people will like you. Be a part of. It doesn't admit when you're wrong. Like you don't have to be sorry.
You're going to be hearing this on Chalk Talk. I'm feeling the same way about the show I'm about to film.
I posted a TikTok over the weekend that it was like, wow, I went from, like, having someone, like, part of my life every single day, couldn't imagine my life without this person, to, like, we are strangers. And deleted those pictures the moment our friendship was over. You know what I mean? Like,
isn't it satisfying, though?
It really is. And I'm doing so much better. And I truly hope that she has learned. I'm being told that she hasn't. But all in all, we're talking about her wrestling style here. So I think just by this degree, this is 2017. So she had a bright future at this point. It just kind of stung a little bit because it's like, wow, you really played with the fact that Rachael really didn't have her family supporting her, only her partner. And her partner is heavily involved in NXT at this point. And your dreams have ended there. What? Absolutely get rid of that dead weight. But the crowd was hot. They played to their strengths. I don't have any complaints here. So all in all,
Neither do I.
all in all, great match. Well, we jump right into the next one. We waste no time. We have Serena Deeb versus Piper Niven. Serena Deeb being the vet, trying to get her second, third, fourth chance to Piper Niven, the 28-year-old newcomer who hasn't been doing this for very long. We all know that she has been. But again, strong, big person, tiny little person gets out of multiple maneuvers. But the difference here with Serena Deeb is that she knows all of these wild holds that I don't even know what they were called. Commentary obviously didn't help with what they were called, but I gotta hand it to Piper because she quickly overpowered Serena Deeb early and often. Serena Deeb did find little pockets where we were missed. Yes, Rachael and Chris Hero
Hero.
They're
are.
married now, aren't they?
They're married. Yes, they
Yeah.
are. They share a Venmo. In which
He's still KO to me though.
Yeah. Okay, do you remember that one takeover?
Now they're
where-
RKO.
Yeah. That was good.
No.
It's a good wrestling pun, asterisk.
Do you remember that one NXT takeover where it was Matt Riddle was like running his mouth like usual, whatever.
I was gonna say,
And
which one?
yeah, he didn't have a scheduled match, but out came Cassie Sono, and like what he just had this like the spinning whatever like jab or whatever, and that was it. And they were like, okay, ring the bell, and he did one turn, one jab, and cover 1, 2, 3, and it was like, oh,
He was doing the Lord's work. Thank you.
yeah.
In nombre Padre, Filio, Espíritu Santo.
Do you see the fans,
There
the
you
chat have spoken. We are
go.
Melboliots. Yes, Melboliots. They kind of sounds like idiots, and I don't mean it to be idiots. I meant like
I'm gonna end up losing my voice here again.
no. Oh my gosh. But this was a really, really, really good match. I really like Piper and Serena together. I didn't expect this match to be so good and so long, 7 minutes and 10 seconds. The Michinoku driver at the end, Piper Niven does so well, and she's only gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. So I can't.
The wrestling comparisons, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard someone call her the mayonnaise of wrestling, where it's like, I'm so sorry. Call her the mayonnaise of wrestling while you use it in every sandwich and you want to see it on every single sandwich. It's not spicy and it's the least.
Sounds like Yano. It's like Yano Toru.
Anyways, Mabal, tell me about this match with Piper Niven and Serena Deeb.
Oh my gosh. So with this one, I felt Deeb was wrestling really, really smart. To kind of take Piper off her feet, keep her from gaining any kind of momentum, kind of doing like the bob and weave kind of thing, trying to just stay out of grasp of her, because I feel she knew if Piper got a hold of her that it would just be a Uso Yeet situation. There was yeah, and Scottish accent, yite, yite, yite. Oh my gosh. There was a moment where Deeb was just doing the hyper striking and just pounding as much as she could on her. I felt it was almost trying to distract Niven in between like little moves. Like I noticed like Dee would do something, and right when Niven was about to get up, she'd just start pounding on her a little bit. I felt it was really, again, a really smart way to keep Niven from trying to get a hold of her, because if she's distracting her, annoying her, could get her emotions up, could make her make a mistake. And that was what I'm sure Deeb was kind of counting on there. There was a body slam attempt by Deeb on Niven where Niven just fell on her and they pinned her for two. That was just classic spot. I got a good giggle out of that one. And I liked how Deeb continued to sell her back for the rest of the match after that point. What really kind of like at this point, I just thought this was going to be a beat down though, where once Piper did get a hold of Deeb, she just kind of started working her over, and I was like, oh, this is not going to be too good. But what really brought me back into it was just the side headlock takeover that Deeb did
Mm.
on Niven, where she just went over so easily for her. It was so good. Um, the I got a little giggle out of the turnbuckle strikes that
Okay.
Deeb did with Niven, where she was sitting on the top turnbuckle and she grabbed Niven's head and just starts slamming it into the turnbuckle between her legs. Um, it's just, I wasn't sure what I was seeing at first because I looked away to write something. When I looked back up, that was what I was seeing. I was like, what? NXT After Dark? What just happened?
Mhm.
Um, this led into a really fun little monkey flip. Again, Niven went over so good for. And then the finally hitting that body slam on Niven as well right after that was just so good. And then what is that move that she does? Because they didn't, again, commentary, very useless. It was like a stunner, but like reversed. It was like a stunner-esque neck breaker that
Mhm.
Deeb did. The whole sequence was just so good by Deeb. And again, shows just how smart, how good she is in that ring. So outsmarting Piper wherever she could. Cannonballs are one of my favorite moves in professional wrestling. I don't know why. They're just so simple, but like everyone who I see do them has their own little touch of flair, not the woo kind, but like the good kind, where they put their own little mannerism or their own little character into it. We have a guy here named The Thickness. He'll yell thickness. He has a special run that he does, and he puts his arms out when he does the cannonball. It's phenomenal, but it's his own thing.
The
I'll show you him after,
thickness.
Auntie. He is incredible. He's a very good wrestler. But
The
like I'm saying,
thickness.
the thickness, yes. Reed Matthews, Astra got to see him wrestle live. Tremendous wrestler. Um, yeah, where was I on that? The cannonball. Okay, yeah. Deep was a rag doll after that
Mm.
cannonball. She ate all of it, and it was phenomenal. It looked so good. Then the avalanche by Niven to Deeb.
Deep, yeah, deep, dead, whatever.
The avalanche by Niven to Deeb, followed by the splash attempt, which Deeb was actually able to avoid, but this was where Niven got a hold of her, fed her into that Michinoku driver for the win. I got really into this match. And like, yeah, Canada is taking over, I guess. We don't we don't want to be. It's not a choice. Anyway. Yeah, I really got into this match, and like sometimes Deeb is very much a hit or miss for me. It
Mhm.
depends on who she's partnered up with. If she is partnered with someone who has a lot of charisma and personality naturally, like Piper Niven, she
Mhm.
excels very well in. But if she's in the ring with someone who struggles with that personality, or maybe is like more selfish with the charisma, like I think it was Marty Bell in the first round, it
Mhm.
tends to be a little bit more difficult for her to have a more engaging match. Whereas like this match, I loved it. Start to finish. It was a story of her trying to stay out of the way, stay out of the power and stay out of the reach of Piper Niven. And then Niven's story was, I'm gonna catch this fool, I'm gonna throw her around. And that's eventually what she ended up doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Astrid, what did you think of the match?
I really enjoyed it. I understand where Mel was coming from in that aspect too, because even now, Serena does a move that I really, really don't like at this point, and especially makes it seem like she's like putting everybody like their arms and feet together, and then she sits on them when they're backwards, and I find it so
Oh,
ridiculous that I don't even know what the move is called. I just don't like it whatsoever. So when I see
hmm.
this, I was like, okay, this is what I like to see from her. And like Mel was saying, it's like it depends on who she's with that she really excels at. And you notice that with each one of her matches is different in that aspect. And it's kind of weird to say that because she's a veteran and you kind of expect her to like have more a little bit of a chemistry with everybody, and she doesn't. It depends on who she's paired with in that
Yeah.
aspect. I do like the storytelling here because even in comments, I really do bring it up. One of the very minimal times that I enjoy what they said, because they said Serena has to change her moveset here because of who she's facing. She can't do her regular
Mm.
stuff. Piper's stronger. It's bigger than her, so she does have to adjust her moveset here to her opponent. And then when she has her in a headlock, like almost on the ground, they said this is where she wants her. She wants her to be low because you can take over her, and she feels like a little bit bigger than Piper in that moment because they're just on the ground together, and you can see that happening here. And even the ending is like Mabel said, I enjoy Cannonball too, and I enjoy that the fact that she was able to take Serena. She took the whole thing, and I was like, yes, I love to see it. Um, and even like watching this, I was always cheering for Piper. I was thinking she's the newcomers. I really wanted her to get that spotlight more than Serena, and I thought I can't wait to see if she does win. And there were so many moments that I was doubting myself, and I couldn't remember. At that point, I was like, "Oh shoot!" And then I saw the Michinoku driver, and it's like, "Okay, I'm glad she won." And I'm glad that when she was in the corner, she was close to the ropes, and she like pulled her in a little bit more before she went in for the finish. She's like, "You're not getting in by the ropes. I'm putting you a little bit closer to like the middle here before I go for that pin for the win." But again, it's like I enjoyed Piper's performance here more than anything. She did so great, and I feel like this match I don't know how long it was, but it felt so long, and I feel like it really benefited from in that aspect because we were able to see more from Piper than we expected. So I enjoyed that too.
Absolutely. Do you think that this has been, well, I mean, we're not that far into the second rounds, but do you think that this match will be used as a blueprint for the remaining second round matches?
Hmm. I feel like out of the other ones though that I see, I feel like this is the one that caught my attention the most. This one, and then I feel like Bianca and Kairi will be the other one that really caught my attention here. But I feel like this was definitely one of my top ones, and it feels weird to say because I don't like Serena very often. So it does feel like something that's weird for me though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel that. What do you think?
I mean, I haven't seen don't want to spoil that I've seen the rest of the thing, but maybe I did. I have to agree with Astrid. I kind of liked the main on this show
Mm-hmm.
the best. And given how the other episodes that I've seen, they weren't the main. But if I had to compare like the flow of the matches to one of the four that happened on this show, I would say number two is pretty comparable. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that does lead us right into a match that I thought was going to be a little bit longer. But I think it does hold its own candle. We have Mercedes Martinez, who is using her theme. This is the first time we see Mercedes Martinez using the I don't know, is it like a bachata or whatever the
It's more like reggaeton because it's Puerto Rican.
Oh, sorry, it's the reggaeton. I was just thinking that 1 and 2 and 1 and like the da 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 da, like the way that it's but
She
we see
said the way she said reggaeton.
Reggaeton. We got
reggaeton.
brother art in there, you
That,
know.
Love it.
It's gonna be stuck in y'all's head now. La Princesa Sugehit is back on our lovely screens. Mel Ball, you go first. You've been putting down all of these really great
Oh.
really great comments.
Okay. Well, Suhei, I have to say, I loved her gear in this match. I love the entry robe where it comes out. She comes out and she puts her arms out, and the little butterfly wings are sparkly and pretty. I love that. But her in-ring gear, inspired by Wonder Woman, it was so nice. And then just cut in the same way as all the kind of lucha libre ladies do. I love their styling of their gear in Mexico. It's so pretty and sparkling and just usually themed off of something. I saw like Toxicas. They were the Powerpuff Girls for a while there. Like I love their gear. Um Suhei working very technically in this match at the beginning here, especially with Martinez. I feel like it kind of threw Martinez off a little bit, and I feel like that was the little story that they told, where at first they were almost like sparring, like they were doing that kind of very technical mixed martial arts kind of thing there, where Martinez was, I'm thinking, expecting Suhei to be very, in her lucha libre roots, but she kind of met Martinez on her own level, which I really appreciated. Um, Lots of headlocks, lots of takedowns, lots of kind of groundwork at the beginning here. Um, there was a roll up into the bottom turnbuckle, followed by another cannonball by Suhei that I absolutely loved. And I love this one because of the lead into it. There was a fun little setup that she did. Again, simple but effective moves. I'm easy to please. What can I say? There was a fun little cold breaker also by Suhei Martinez. And then the armbar, which is like something I notice a lot of the Lucha Libre really, really love. It's a very quick and easy thing to throw on, but then depending on where you put it in or how you put it in, you can make it like seem very like Mystico is one of them where he'll pull the armbar and he'll start rubbing the elbow in the back and start reefing on it and make it look like he's kind of having an episode or something. I like how she was putting it on here, and I like how Martinez was really, really fighting her on it. Obviously, being the Miss Martial Arts more specialistic person in this match, I assume she might have taken a little offense to that. Martinez also trying to roll through that armbar, but Suhei rolling through with her, able to keep that kind of hold on her. There was the double suplex into the greed killer, and then which is like a rope assisted kind of DDT thing there by Martinez. I love that. As soon as I saw that, I was like, Kenta. All I can think about is Kenta now.
Oh, Kenta.
Run Hideo. Frickin' Hideo. The Fisherman Buster by Martinez for the finish. This was a fun match. I had a lot of fun with this match because I wasn't expecting the version of Suhei that we got. I was expecting that more lucha libre stuff, and we did get it. It's just it wasn't helpful.
I was different. I was expecting
Really?
the previous Suhei, so
Yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised with this match, and I wasn't expecting it to not be good, but I was definitely expecting more of that flippy stuff that I expect out of the Luchas, and she met Martinez on her level in such a way that it worked so nicely. And then Martinez is such a good in-ring worker. The sell that she had, the facial expressions, she was so good with Suhei, and Suhei was so good back. I loved this match.
Astrid.
Yeah, what can I say? I enjoy this match a lot too. Like Mel said, it's like I just expected more of a high flyer type of stuff from Princesa Sugehit, but I love that she's able to match up to how Mercedes is and her style in this match, and see Mercedes in control. I love to see that as well. I enjoy every time I see her. So any opportunity that she's a part of something, I'm glad I'm able to watch it. And I did like the fact that they showed Kalisto at ringside for this match as well. I like having that, even though it's a women's tournament, they have not only women but men showing they have a connection to the women that are competing, and you can see that here with Kalisto showing up. And this is again one of the few instances that I enjoy commentary because I mentioned that both of them are the ones with the most experience out of the whole tournament, and you can see that in the match because I feel like it was very solid, it was very consistent. I feel like it had a great foundation, and you can see that they're both veterans just because of their performances here. I feel like they worked really well together, and it was one of those that from my mindset, I was just hoping that Mercedes will win it because I feel like her as a powerhouse. I would like to see her against the other ladies. So it was really nice when she got that win there. And again, it's like I also like the fact that Princess Sugehit wasn't just a high flyer. She also showed like she was more like ground working, and she did submission. The submission at one point that they were focusing on the injured shoulder of Mercedes. It's like that could have been it at that moment there, and I like how they keep you at the edge of your seat in those instances there during the match. But overall, I feel like they feel like they did so well together that I feel like it would have been nice to see them going against each other against the way she performed. But
Mhm.
again,
Yeah, I this is a different kind of match that I had felt, right? I thought it was going to be a certain way, but it wasn't. Mentioning that Suhei versus Kaylee Ray, who Kaylee Ray does have that more, um, we had mentioned her style of wrestling is different than Mercedes. So having to navigate different styles of wrestling does make you have a different wrestling presentation, which I understand. But I absolutely loved Suhei's Wonder Woman tribute. We've seen a lot of Wonder Woman. I mean, we've seen Lana do it. We've seen Mercedes Monet do it. Sasha Banks. Like, there's been a lot of wrestlers who have done it. I think this is one of my favorites because it wasn't like Wonder Woman, like it was just akin to it, and I really appreciated that nod. But Mercedes Martinez also focusing on strikes during this match was kind of brilliant, so to speak, because if you're gonna stop a lucha wrestler from luchaing, what better way than striking them before they could get their momentum going. So like, lucha wrestler luchaing. So
Lucha.
yeah. Oh, that the tornado DDT was spectacular. But that fisherman buster or fisherman thing, I don't know. I just know that it's the way that she puts her up on her shoulder. Mercedes Martinez makes it look easy. Makes it look easy in 5 minutes and 13 seconds. But I don't know. I think that Princesa kind of out wrestled, so to speak, of okay, you were just striking me, you were just, coming at me all at once. I feel like she outmaneuvered, but I think the right person won, and Mercedes Martinez will meet Abbey Laith in the quarterfinals. So we're going to be seeing Abbey Laith, who knows how to maneuver in and out of things. So once again, Mercedes Martinez has to come against someone who is the underdog and can easily maneuver around people and dance around the ring, so to speak. So, it's got her work cut out for her. Well, we go into our main event. How do we get here? These are really good, chopped up, very digestible matches. But the fact that there have been 4 matches and I feel like I want it to end. I think it's proven how great this tournament has been.
Mhm.
Astrid, why don't you start us off with Bianca Belair versus Kairi Sane?
Mhm. I love the fact that here they mentioned that Bianca has only a year of experience in so far in wrestling. You can kind of see it, but you don't at the same time, just because she does it so well. She's so athletic and so smooth with everything she does. And I look at her here and I get thinking, it's like, this is a baby Bianca. And the fact that this is a future WrestleMania main eventer right here. And, at first you're thinking about it, it doesn't cross your mind until you're in that moment and that happens. So it feels so great to think about her from that moment to where she is now and how much she has grown. And she was already great at the beginning of her career. Can you imagine now when it's been
Yeah.
a few years at this point? I really enjoyed her performance. I like that even though she's the rookie in this aspect, if you think about it that way, she like her and Kyrie meshed together so well. Like they had been knowing each other for years at this point. I don't know how they did it, but they really did. And the chemistry was really great here. I really enjoyed both of them, and this is why the main was definitely my favorite. And I like the fact that this is I was gonna say not the beginning, but that kind of start to like the strikes with the braid that she does and the way they mention them in commentary. It's like she's being innovative, she's being different, and that's something that she mentions how Montez told her about keeping her hair with the braid to have her look
Mm.
different and do something different in the ring, and you can see it that in their character work here as well. And again, it's like I feel like they both did great here, and I'm glad Kyrie won, but I feel like it would have been cool if Bianca won as well. It would have been nice to see her getting that experience there. But I feel like this is
Mhm.
one of those that you cannot go wrong either way with either one of them winning. It was tough to pick a winner in that aspect too. But I love the match. I'm glad they did both of them together in this round.
Yeah. Mello.
I mean, probably.
I mean, listen, when money can buy you anything, especially hair, I would want it to double, triple, quadruple in size. I would have braids coming out
Didn't
of,
she have two? Didn't she have pigtails the other day?
yeah, during this Survivor series, War Games. She had two.
Oh yeah, yeah, she did.
That would
Very
be
iconic.
interesting. Could you imagine trying to get those to twirl at the same time? You look like you're having some kind of
I
Yeah.
would break my neck. That's how I would
yeah,
be end. That would be end of
100%.
life
I think
right
if you think
there.
about it too, when you see her wrestle, is the fact that when she does the gymnastics aspect of it, you can see her holding the braid while she's doing it. I was like, I wouldn't be
Mm,
able to like, remind myself to like hold my hair while I'm
yeah.
doing this and I'm wrestling at the same time. I don't know how she does it, but
Fair, fair.
yeah.
It's difficult. I mean, like even with myself, I mean, I'm not an athlete. I'm just lifting weights and putting them back down. But even these tend to get in my way once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So can't imagine having hair as long as myself to take into consideration with that. Um, I felt at the beginning of this match, I liked the handshake at the beginning there. I wasn't sure we were going to get it out of Belair, but I was happy that we did.
Hmm.
Um, she got beaten up with her own braid while someone was beating her. What a
Yeah.
wild time to be a wrestling fan. Um, I felt that Sane was really feeling Bianca out for the first little bit, kind of like just locking up with her a little bit, trying not to get too close, trying to see what she was kind of mucking about with. There was a couple times where Belair did get a hold of her, kind of slam her down just to kind of power flex on her. I liked the slow go into the match.
Mm,
Because if they had just like there's certain matches where they're just waiting in the corner as soon as the bell runs, they run in and start beating on each other. There's certain matches where that works so well. But with this, you had that experience with Sane, plus that like I feel that Belair is just a natural talent and
mhm,
perfectionist in everything that she does, let alone this sport. So I feel that this was perfectly executed in ring psychology at the beginning of this one, especially with the
mm.
blowing the kiss, and then Kyrie taking it and just stomping on it. Like, same girl. That's exactly what I would do. Just having like a little tantrum stomping on it. No, never. Don't accept your kiss. You were mean to me. You didn't shake my hand. Um, I love the sass. And I
Mhm,
realized at this point I hadn't been able to see Belair's beginnings in NXT. I only kind of got to see her when because I don't watch WWE, AEW regularly. I watch the pay-per-views. So like this is kind of I do follow the companies on socials, but not as adamantly as I do my preferred shows, obviously. So I didn't get to see the sassy beginning of Bianca. I got to see her when she got to the main roster, which was still sassy, but I feel like she was already leaning hard into the face kind of angle at that point. I didn't see the heel. And I'm kind of wondering why they haven't brought her back to the heel at some point. I get that she's a crowd favorite, but god damn, was this heel work so extraordinarily good for someone who is just beginning in this sport. I don't feel that based on this match at all. It's like she's been wrestling forever. She was born to kind of do this. I do like also, as mentioned, the hair. Just freaking instead of stomping a mud hole on Kairi, she was whipping her with her hair in the corner there, and I loved it. The cracks that were coming off with it, though. Oh my God. That I can't imagine that felt good. Because like
Yeah.
no, like I've had the fake braids in before. I've been whipped with them before, when you start wicking around, you hit yourself. It's not pleasant. I can't imagine that felt great. There was a vertical suplex by Belair at the beginning there, where she just held Kairi in the vertical suplex position and started doing her squats.
Yeah.
Damn. Like Ron Simmons, guys. Anyway, wow. And then, like, I remember she's a pure athlete, but frick, man, it's freaking impressive, even if it is a tiny Kairi Sane. That's still another human being. It's at least 100 pounds extra that she's got on one side instead of in the middle that she's squatting as a gym person. That is very impressive because I fall going upstairs. There's a full Nelson camel clutch thing that Belair did with Kairi, where she just had her in that kind of full Nelson thing and just started slamming her face into the ground. And again, why do we not have Bianca back? As such a dastardly move. I love it. It's brilliant. There was also the double underhook, a submission into a slam by Belair, where she kind of got that. Andre would know what it is. Kairi's hands were behind her back. She kind of lifted her up, kind of wiggled her around a little bit, and then just slammed her on her face. It looked phenomenal. Commentary obviously would have been beneficial to a Mel Ball in this one. There was one point where the machine gun chops from Sane on Belair were adorable. Probably not terribly effective in the long run of things, but adorable. I appreciate the Kojima thing. There was a point where Belair slammed Kairi down and then went up top to do that 450. Holy crap. Again, just pure freaking athlete, this woman. I was like, I clearly have to go back while I still have access to the network and watch some of Bianca Belair's old NXT stuff. Because goddamn, again,
I know.
for the third time, where is heel Bianca?
It's going to happen when
It's
her
gonna
and Jake versus
happen.
each other.
Oh
It's gonna
my
happen
god!
then.
It's gonna happen.
It has to. It
By
has to.
WrestleMania. Don't you worry.
This character needs to come back. Because, goddamn, seeing this, I was like, why has she been a face ever since going to main roster? It make no sense.
She's a crowd
She's
favorite.
the female Cena, that's why.
Female Cena.
Even
she's the
Cena
face
had
of
the ability to go back and forth, though, when he wanted. He was more marketable as a face, for sure.
They use her for a lot of
but
marketing.
I feel,
That's why they keep her as a face.
You see her on all those
look at
posters,
Rhea.
all the marketing.
I feel
Rhea
like
is
Rhea
so
is
cold.
proof, though, that you can effortlessly be a heel and still be ridiculously over with the crowd. Mommy's always on top.
I love her so much.
There was a spinning back fist by Kairi that I
Mhm.
absolutely love. Mina
Mhm.
Shirakawa has been rocking that a lot recently, also. Very devastating move. And then there was the axe kick that Kairi did before going into that sliding lariat in the corner. I just love that sliding lariat. It's becoming
Mm.
one of my favorites again. Again, a simple but effective move. Insane elbow drop for the win. Oh man. Start to
Once
finish, I
again.
was like, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Great match.
Yeah, I think of all the matches so far, this has been my favorite of the evening. Excuse me. Did I cut you off?
No,
No.
no, I'm agreeing with Millie.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't
uh,
want to interrupt, so I just started looking like I was having an episode.
uh, it's okay. Kyrie came off a really great quality match, as much as I don't want to talk about who she was up against the previous week. So Kyrie is very fresh on our mind. Bianca, again, in the first year of her wrestling at this point, which we're already seeing star potential. I also wrote about Bianca Belair as a heel was annoying at the time, but she is underdeveloped as a heel. I think that she would be so vicious, so exciting, so desirable. I, that's what I want to see. That's where I think that her potential feud for WrestleMania is going to be with Jade if she can get healed in time. I'm not quite sure what her injury is.
What happened on Raw tonight, Millie?
Well, it
I
was a
guess
couple
I'm.
of weeks ago. It was before Survivor Series.
No, I think she's talking about the Kyrie thing on Raw.
Oh,
I saw the hand thing. I remember that.
oh no. Oh
What hand
no.
thing? What hand thing?
It's
I
like they
have to
made it
go
look
watch Raw later.
like they injured the Kyrie's hand, if I remember correctly. I didn't watch the whole thing, but that might be it. Just
No.
saying.
But yeah, I agree. Having hey, hey,
It's
hey.
2/3.
Um, the blowing of the kiss, you really set the tone. I felt like this match had the most charisma, and you know how I love
Mhm.
charisma and uniqueness, nerve, and talent inside of my wrestling ring. But having that showcased here was really awesome because we could see distinctly who these wrestlers are. It's not just,
Mhm.
hey, this is a new wrestler on a screen. This is someone that we've uh, invested time into, and you could really see how that translated. The braid noise when it slaps, I think, is comparable to that of Ishii slapping chests. Penta
Okay.
slapping chests. Like it
Will
sounds
Mhm.
Ospreay.
concave. My entire chest would just go inside. She had to be taken out of
Shit.
VC. There's a hammer's crush and therefore being replaced. Oh my god, no!
Mhm.
I don't want to see that happen.
Mhm.
Well, that's not good. No bueno.
Well, I was about to say, Bianca Belair, every time that
Oh.
she seemed to be getting into a spot that isn't as ideal for her, she's a brand new wrestler using her brain and using
Mhm.
her hair to whip to get out of these compromising situations that would lead her
Mhm.
to being uh being taken advantage of. And I
Mhm.
think it did start to frustrate Kyrie, which I really love to see. I love seeing a veteran get frustrated because that's what we want to see. We don't want to see them bored and constantly getting squash matches. We want their brains to tick a little bit.
Mhm.
There was a beautiful like 480 360 something or other
Some number in
splash.
there.
And I don't know, I can never do it where
450.
it's like 450 580 like Tony Hawk kind of rotating thing. Great near fall. But Kyrie coming back with that back fist and then that elbow drop. to win at 10 minutes. I feel like this is our longest match that we've had here. This is absolutely stunning. Chef's kiss. Great way to end the episode. Great way to main event. This could stand on its own. Would like to see this run back somehow. Was great. Lots of action. Great performance. Stunning wrestlers. Can't wait for more. But Kairi Sane goes on to the next round.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go around. Share your thoughts of this episode, and your hopes and dreams for the next one. Melba, why don't you start?
I feel like this was the show where they finally kind of like found the footing. Like the first couple, especially, they were kind of like newborn foals, kind of in the first hour, wibbly wobbling on their little feetsies, not quite. They were up, but they weren't quite steady. Now that we're getting into round 2, I feel this is a lot more solid. They're getting out of the pen, they're running in the field. They might be there's been no slips and fall downs yet in this episode. This was a very solid show. This would have been something I would have loved to see live. I would have left feeling very happy. Yeah, overall, I'd say this was probably on the upswing for them. This is the start of a good trend.
Agreed. All right, Astrid.
Yeah, I feel like I was said earlier, I feel like at this point the people that didn't know the talent got a little bit more familiar with them, so they were chewing them on a little bit more. They weren't as quiet as they were in the first couple episodes. And here I feel like you could see more of the character work, like as especially like with Kyrie and Bianca. I feel like they were really the highlight in that aspect, that they were really fun to play with the crowd too. And I feel like a lot of people don't do that very often, and that's something I feel like I miss from Kyrie, that the pirate thing that she does all the time, I feel like that plays off with the crowd very well, and they respond to it. So that kind of thing is like I do miss. But what I love especially is like somebody like Bianca, who's a rookie at this but already has her character down at that point. For somebody who's so young and just starting doing this, I feel like that rarely happens. And it just makes me think of like what happens next, and thinking of like the next episode too. Is like I feel like at this point, if I'm not mistaken, out of the people in the next episode, there's only one person I really don't like to watch and I don't care for, but everybody else I'm happy with. But I feel like Mel says, like once they found that they have that foundation, and I feel like now we can see a little bit more from them, and they found more of a balance between the matches, because even though some of them were short, the way the pacing was happening, it felt like it went longer than what it was really. And the event being was about 10 minutes, I think, or so. So it's like that makes sense, being the main event of the show, that it has a little bit more time than the rest of them. So I feel like I enjoy more the vibe and like the pacing of this episode than I did before. And as Billy says, Carrie and B have evolved so much. They really have. And it's just like I keep thinking about watching them in this moment versus where they are now, most of them, and thinking how much they have grown and they have changed and have learned from how they were before to what they are now, and their growth. It's just overall amazing to see it.
Agreed. Yeah, I agree with all those sentiments. That this was the first episode where we could kind of see those personalities hit. It wasn't just a player 1 versus player 2 and fight. It was, let's tell a story a little bit. Let's take our time. We do have that time. It's not like we have to get all of our shit in. We have space to flesh it out. And I think that makes a tournament exciting to watch, especially with new faces and new wrestlers that we haven't seen before. So really love seeing that. I expected Piper Niven to get over. I was expecting Mercedes to get over, and I was expecting Kairi Sane at the time to get over. But it's interesting to see where Bianca Belair has achieved far more success, I think, than Kairi on the main roster. And I really wanted Rachael Ellering to win, but all in all, it is a really great episode. I mean, we're going to see Kairi Sane go up against the winner of Dakota Kai and Rhea Ripley. And Your guess is as good as mine. I know that there's a Wikipedia article already. I think this is not in real time, but just imagining the level of talent that was so brand new and fresh, just captivating all of us. I'm excited for more, and I'm excited for episode 6. What say y'all?
I as well. Alex
So,
Kozlov.
so in episode 6, we do get to see that Dakota Kai versus Rhea Ripley match. We get to see Lacey Evans versus Toni Storm match. We get to see Mia Yim versus Shayna Baszler, and we get to see Nicole Savoy versus Candice LeRae. It's gonna be a great time. We only have a couple more episodes left, so without further ado, let's say what is this? This is on a ramble. I keep saying it every single time. What do I say every single time? We need our own folder.
Okay, which one are you looking for?
Find yours.
Okay. There you go.
Astrid, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me tomorrow taking over. Ed won't be here as he will be at the show itself with the double taping that I think most likely he's gonna get for NXT. So we'll see about that. Hopefully he gives us the spoilers when the show's done. So since I won't have him, I will have Andre 2/3 be my co-host for one night only. And like I said, Andre, one night only. Just so you know. And then you can find me again on Monday. I get doing WCW with these ladies here as we talk about episode 6 of the Mae Young Classic. Other than that, you can find me my Twitter and Blue Skies Astrid Pizarro, and my Instagram and my threads as Pizarro20. And most likely, if you're here, you might be watching my YouTube channel. So make sure you hit subscribe, hit that bell to be notified, and click on that like button too. Would appreciate it.
Love it. That's not correct.
If you want to follow 2/3 Andre C. I mean, some of my stuff is on there. I see stuff. Yay!
I'm so good at producing. Mel, tell everyone where they can find you.
If you're wanting to follow Melball, you can follow her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow her on everything else: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. If you like it, put a review. Why haven't I been doing that for the last 2 years?
It's fun.
That's what you've been missing.
Right? That's it. I think I'll start casting spells like this or something. I don't know.
I mean, I would like to.
Right.
I got a list.
I mean, I've heard Beyonce is sort of like a witch. I don't know. Maybe do I just start singing that to summon something?
Yeah, let's do it.
Why not?
Why not?
I'll let you know how it goes.
Well, you can follow me. Hi, hello. I'm your queer auntie. You can follow me anywhere. There's a social media website, _queer auntie. I am really, really sad that TikTok is going to be gone.
What?
So sad.
Hopefully not.
Yes, it's going away in the United States because our government is more concerned with data being shared than gun violence in this country. But I digress. I know the face exactly. Everything is fine. That's fire. Find me here every Monday for Women's Classic Wrestling Podcast. You can find me here on Thursday for a show on a ramble. And we're
the thing you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. And then this Friday is Final Battle. It is Ring of Honor's final pay-per-view of the year. We're going to be doing a post show, so stick around. You'll want to hear exactly what I have to say about Chris Jericho.
Well, that'll be fun. I'll be right in with you.
Yeah, Melball's going to be on it.
Yeah,
come hang out.
and I hate Chris Jericho as much as you do.
Yes.
I love it. And then you can find me on Fightful Overbooked talking about how wrestling made me cry. And I'll probably be talking about how Chris Jericho made me cry. So we got a lot in store. So be sure. I don't know why I'm yawning. I'm not tired. But you can find us. Hi, hello. This is our local establishment. Put that bell notification on so you know when we go live. There is a show clearly every day of the week. So you're probably going to want to stop by. You're going to want to stay a while. You want to, get a little bit comfortable. Keep your clothes on. But stay a while, right?
You can get comfortable, but not too comfortable.
Yeah, but not too comfortable because then we don't want it.
Then you get banned.
You get banned. But this has been a Women's Classic Wrestling Podcast. Guess what I remembered? Women's wrestling matters.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.